All right, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of the Countersyn podcast. This is episode, I've forgotten. Is it 67?
67.
All right, great. Yeah, episode 67. And as you can probably all hear and hopefully see, I'm joined by my wonderful fellow co-host, as always, Mr. Matthew Lacey. How are you doing?
Good, Jamie. How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing good.
Good evening. It is evening, isn't it? Hello, everyone,
yes,
wherever you are.
It's a very dark Wednesday evening. We're all cozied up in our hoodies. So yeah. And Mr. Harry Semin, of course.
Hey, good evening. Yes, a wintry night indeed. Mugs of tea.
That's
Ready
it.
to go. Ready to chat.
Yeah, tea and Harry's just finished some biscuits I've seen as well.
Yeah.
Fortunately, not bourbons. So
No.
So
I know. It's all I had in the tin.
That's a low bloke. You did have some. I did. I ate half your biscuits on.
Yeah,
Friday,
we did.
didn't I?
We indulged on a few Biscoffs, Lidl's own Biscoffs.
Oh,
Lidl's Biscoffs.
Yes.
We didn't mention them, did we? On the biscuit segment that we did a few episodes back.
A great biscuit.
That is a great biscuit.
I prefer. I love them when they're other people's.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Just eating other people's biscuits.
I think in general, but other people's biscuits are better, aren't they?
There's a taste to it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's biscuit.
Anyway,
game.
moving on.
Yeah.
Drum podcast.
We definitely need to move on because we have a lot that we want to talk about. So yeah, it's been a week and a bit, 10 days maybe since the UK Drum Show 2025. We are back. A lot has happened since then as well, and I think that we're all sort of like, we've got stuff about the drum show, but since then, Matt's been to the Drummers Odyssey Camp. Harry and I've been to Snares and Matches, and there's just been a lot kind of stuff going on. So we will update you, I guess, with happenings in due course.
Everything.
Yes.
We'll get there.
We will get there. So yeah, watch this space. We've got lots of exciting things to get through. But we will start, as always, with a wonderful segment, which is always going to be a fun one after the drum show, of something new. And yeah, we're here to share, hopefully fairly briefly, what we bought at the show. If we bought anything, first of all. And
Imagine if we didn't.
Don't try and build that false suspense.
Yeah, sorry. I was trying to.
Did we buy anything?
Of course, we all bought something. But the range is quite significant, I would say.
Yeah. Let's just say Harry bumped the average up.
Somehow beat Rich Nolan's average.
Yeah.
Not proud of
Yes,
it.
that's quite an achievement.
That figure shall not be revealed on this podcast.
No, quite not.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, so who'd like to go first with what they bought?
Well, so I feel like Harry's like the headline act for this section. So is he going to go last, or do we want to go? Yeah. Does he want to go out first?
I'll go last if that's
the big reveal.
That's how you bill me as.
We are merely the warm-up act.
Yeah. Show us what you got.
Yeah.
Right. Do you want to go first, Jamie?
I'll go first because mine's the most boring. So
bottom of the
it's all
bill.
good. I'm bottom of the bill, definitely. Yeah,
But an essential part of the night, though. An essential
yeah,
part.
okay, yeah, I'll take that. I'm
Think about what you
certainly
bought.
excited about it because
Yes.
since getting these, it's breathed a little bit of new life into my snare collection in particular, which is what I ended up coming back with was just a few snare heads. So I managed to behave myself fairly well at the drum show, the main haul was some snare heads, and I posted a little bit on my stories, but I got 4 new heads for 4 different snare drums. One was a teaching head, which I just kind of wanted something really durable that all my students can just go nuts on, and I've had it in 2 sessions since the drum show, and it's already just like covered in stick marks, and it was the right decision. It's the sort of thing though, I don't know if you guys have this with students, this is a bit of a tangent, they notice things instantly, and so like literally they walked in and they were like, new snare, and I was like, not quite, but and they hit it and it's so different, and it's like marginally different from what
Same
they
drum.
used to. So I did that on the teaching snare. Then I reheaded my Starphonic, my little 13x7, and then I have also reheaded my Superphonic, which is the one behind me. I took that one to Snares and Matcha night. and kind of shared a little bit about that one as well. And then I also reheaded my tiki, which I've got here.
Ooh, the tiki,
my little 14 by 6.5, and this has got a CS dot on it, control sound. So yeah, just something
all
to kind of
heads.
All Remo, yeah. Nice. And this one I was particularly keen to change because I was avoiding the drum because I had not really found something that I felt really brought out the right characteristics in it, and it sounded always a little bit ringy. And I haven't gigged this yet, but I definitely had a sort of play on it down at my studio, and it was sounding a lot better. I think just having this on it has just given that extra level of taking some of the overtones out, which for this wood drum, it just kind of was doing that a little bit too much for me. It's very lively. I still got to tweak it a bit. I'd really like to get it down in the low range, to be honest, and try and get some good tones out of it there. But yeah, so just kind of breathe life back into my snare collection, which is
cool. So what you might have said, I missed it. What model did you put on your teaching snare of head?
That was it's CS dot, like my tiki, but X. So I got like the extreme version for the
extra durable one.
The extra durable one for that. And then CS on that. On the Superphonic, I purchased a standard Ambassador because I think that suits it really well. And then on the Starphonic, it's 13 by 7. I just got Emperor, coated Emperor. Yeah, just warm, durable.
Can't beat it.
I think that would be really nice. Haven't played that one yet, but looking forward to taking it out on some of their heavier stuff down the line.
Okay.
So that's my
good.
Something new.
Good haul. Yeah.
Right, haul. Wicked. Well, it's me next then.
Yeah,
so in a similar vein, I went drum heads as well, or drum head. So I got a new Evans for my Bluebird. I've got an Evans head, and I've always used G1s on my head, but I got into a really great conversation with Ben at Didario, and he's the guy that does the kind of tuning workshops for Evans, and goes around and does bits and bobs. So he asked me about what snare I'd got, and where I'm really happy with the G1, and I actually was after some kick heads as well, but they didn't have everything at the show. They're mainly focusing on snare heads and stuff. But he suggested, so they got 3 snares lined up, and he suggested the UV, and I played the UV tom heads on like pirate kits and stuff, and I'm like, they're okay, but obviously they put them on those because they're durable.
Yeah.
I just felt they didn't quite have the feel of a G2 with the tone. But he suggested a UV1 reverse dot just to bring out a bit more mid-range of my Bluebird, which is chrome over brass 14 by 6.5. So yeah, that's what I've gone for. So I'm looking for, because I've got a recording session this weekend with Montgomery Slacks for our second EP, and I wanted to try different head options really, and just see how it feels, and just get a bit more warmth and depth of that out of that drum. So I bought that, and I also bought a new practice pad.
Ooh, nice.
So I bought the Evans Real Feel.
These are great.
Yeah, they are. A tactile, 10-inch. So it just, my other 12-inch one did fit in my rucksack, but this is just a better fit. It's got the thread on the back, which I've never had on a thing, so I might find a dummy little sound for it. And what I like,
it sounds great. It's like ASMR for drummers.
You can hear that?
Yeah.
That's just with my fingers. But because it's got the UV type coating on it, you can, I wouldn't play wire brushes on it, but you can do brushes on this as nylon brushes as well. So it's really, really lovely. I've been playing it this week. And again, you said about students noticing, you got a new pad. What's that? Yes, so I've been playing with this pad. What I did realise at, we've not touched on it yet, but Odyssey Camp this weekend, everyone's playing on pads.
Oh yeah,
you could just hear my pad. There's some people
put you under the microscope a bit.
Yeah, people have got reflex pads and they got.
I mean, it must have been pretty good for the marching rudimentary stuff to get that sort of articulation on your pad.
Oh no,
into it.
Really good. Yeah. So, but yeah, every note was being scrutinised,
critiqued. Yeah.
Some people have got like big Pro Logic pads, and some people have got the Evans ones.
Yeah. Give me the reflex where it's like very
give me the
quiet.
reflex.
Yeah. You can be playing anything. No one can ever see.
Yeah.
What Ben very kindly did as well. He threw me in a set of tune-up tom mounts, not the mini ones, the EQ pods. So the Evans' own moon gel. For those people listening along. And actually, I mentioned before I went to the drum show that I was. Oh, I've got something else that I've just found to show as well. At the drum show, before the drum show, keeps on giving. I mentioned that I was kind of weighing up changing sticks. Now, the company that I was interested in looking at were Vincent, but they weren't at the show actually. But as it happened, I did a couple of those at the show. There was a couple of those Evans Education Room practice pad play along 20-minute half-hour thing.
Yeah, very
really cool. We'll talk about that in a bit when we get a bit into it. What I didn't realise is, as a result of going to that room and taking part in a couple of things, you got a redeemable token to go to the Dario stand and get a free pair of sticks.
Nice.
So, and Bob Wynn, we love Bob. Hi, Bob. I know he listens a lot. He was kind of, Matt, you want to try some Pro Marks out? Is that the direction you want to go in? And he was kind of quite keen for me to talk to Ben and get something sorted. So I went down with my 2 little tokens and I got a couple of pairs of sticks to try. So I have got, which ones have I got here? There's a little story about this. I want to keep it brief so we can get onto the main event, Harry.
It's not that exciting.
It's not that exciting. He says,
it is exciting.
Producing like a 10-minute YouTube video about it.
Yeah, true. Link in the description.
yeah, put it in. So I told him what kind of
It's not Glastonbury.
No.
Sorry.
What I was playing at the minute was the NE1, and I wanted something similar. So they gave me a pair of what they call the AB5 rebound. So
AB5?
they are, yeah, so they're, or 5AB, whatever you want to call it. So they specifically are midway, just not quite midway between an A and a B.
Yeah.
And they're rebound, so they're rear weighted. So thickness-wise, they're great. They're just similar to NE1 for reference out there, which I guess is the same as a Veta Fusion, I think, or Matrix.
About that, yeah.
Acorn tip, though, which I'm not a big fan of now. However, just for trying new stuff, same pair, 5AB rebounds, but these are longer. And these are 16.5 inches long, and they're really great on a pad. So I use this from a pad because they're just, you've got to work a bit harder for them. But it was after something which I went back to. No, I went back to Ben. I emailed him because I think a pair of sticks got mixed up on the stand, and I ended up with a mismatched pair. Not Dario's fault, not Evans's, not Promoc's fault. It's just the way I think people have been moving sticks around boxes. Yeah. So I messaged him and said, look, they're tonally, they're way out. I weighed them. They're weighed the same, but the density was like way out. They're not matched at all. So it says, you can send me a pair just to have a legitimate back to A and B test with. That'd be great. As it happens, I'd messaged Louis Palmer because he uses ProMark, and he, just as it happened, posted about his sticks. And I mentioned that I was trying a couple of pairs out, and he suggested to me trying the Marco Minimum signature stick, which has got a barrel tip on it.
Do they make you play like Marco Minimum? That's the question.
No,
as all good signature products should.
You just get the accent and the long hair. You don't get any ability.
And all of a sudden, a bigger drum kit as well.
Yes.
The ability to play in 15/8.
15/8, yeah. It's not come in handy yet. No. But they are not quite as tapered as I'd like, and they are slightly thinner than the ABs, but thicker than an A. I'm getting a bit
but do they have the barrel tip though?
But they're barrel tip.
Barrel tip, yeah, nice.
Now, so I said to Ben, I mean, just send me if you can send me a pair of the Marco Minimums. I fully appreciate that artist series. It's not like sending out a pair of 5As or whatever. But fair play, he sent me both pairs. So that's the reason for the story. Just to say, I've had really good kind of shout out to Ben at Didario.
Lovely.
It's they've really supported me, and I'm not yet 100% sure if one of these will fit the bill. I really wanted a stick that I could do everything with. I'm not sure yet. I need to go and play them in anger. I like the Marcos the best of the three, I think. It's whether they are just a bit heavier than the NE1, and it's whether they're just a bit too heavy and a bit too much at the taper. They're not tapered a great deal, whether it's just a bit too much for my jazz stuff. But but we will see. So that's the kind of promo stuff. And the last thing I did before I left the show was buy my my minor ching ring. It's still in the pack, not opened out yet. So I wanted that for
hi-hat tambourine.
Hi-hat tambourine, yeah.
Yeah.
So I bought one of those, and that's it really. But that was kind of, I looked around the show, found one. I thought, well, if they've not sold out, come 5 o'clock on Sunday, I'll go.
Sneak in.
So I did. So a little bit of a haul of
breakables.
Bits and bobs, and a new pad, which is lovely.
Those are all like the bits that are nice to have, but can just be annoying to have, like the little EQ gels and the tambourine, and a different stick, or when you go to the drum shop to buy those, the price can rack up quite quickly, and you're kind of like, I bought a lot, but I kind of bought nothing
just to buy one of those.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. But like that, at the same time, that is really what kind of ticks you over a little bit and allows you to kind of experiment with different things and kind of get the job done in different ways. Like they're so useful, all that stuff. So useful.
It's a long way to drive to just go and get a ching ring.
Yeah.
Or a hi-hat tambourine, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Or like to spend like 20 quid on Amazon or whatever, or you have a drum shop, and then go, I don't really like this, if you would have played it in a room, you would have. Yeah.
When everything's there to look, touch and feel, it makes so much difference. Talking of looking and touching and feeling and playing,
and sounding different.
Harry, did you get anything at the drum show?
No, nothing. No.
Right, that's the end of the episode.
Yeah, so had a lovely Tesco meal deal on Saturday. That was lovely. No, what did I get? Well, I mentioned in the part 1 pre-build up, the previous episode about the drum show, about some Paiste cymbals. I guess the story kind of goes again with kind of keeping it brief. I think anyone that listens kind of knows, my big influences and my sort of, sound and all that sort of stuff. Obviously been playing Zildjian for, 7 or 8 years or whatever. And still love the cymbals that I have. A few people have already messaged me like, oh, can I have this? And can I have that? Like, no, not all of them are for sale.
Yeah.
I am keeping them because I do really like them. But I think after last year's drum show, I got a few little bits and kind of realized quickly that they still weren't what I wanted. And then sort of, doing a bit of research and kind of looking around the lines, I just kind of felt like what I wanted wasn't there. And then I sort of put 2 and 2 together and thought, well, the sound I keep coming back to is, obviously heavily influenced by Steve Jordan's sound and the Paiste traditionals that he plays. And I just sort of put 2 and 2 together and just thought, well, if that's what he's getting from his sound, then surely that is the answer. It's not going to make me play like him, nor do I want it to make me play like him. But that sound, that very specific sound, is coming from those cymbals. So why not start there? If it doesn't work, I don't know what I'm going to do. But so that's where I went. So I got here is for the visual listeners.
Hey,
thank you. This is a 20-inch traditional light ride.
Yeah.
That just looks amazing. They've got this amazing hammering under as well. So I got like a full set, if you want to call it a full set. So I got the 17-inch hi-hat combination, which is a 17-inch traditional thin crash on top with a dark energy 17 on bottom. A 20-inch thin crash as the main crash on the left-hand side. A 20-inch light ride, which is what I just showed. That's on the right-hand side. and then a 22 light ride as well. So sort of a full setup. Managed to take it to the studio on the last weekend just gone, and had 4 or 5 hours there. I did make a video. Some people might have seen it already. Jay mentioned it earlier. It isn't. I'll put it in the description below.
It's a great video, Harry.
Oh, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah,
that's great.
Sort of I had an idea for it. You know when you're like, I'm going to go and make this, or I'm going to go and do that. And then I just completely forgot all of what I planned. And then I was just like, right, I got to capture the first moments.
Yeah.
So
100%.
Just, turned the camera on and went for it. But thank you. It was cool. It was really good fun to capture my impressions. I didn't want to be like, oh yeah, I wanted to kind of keep a bit of a straight, but no, internally I was like, oh my gosh, this is amazing.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's really, I don't know if you felt the same, Matt, when you went, started getting some of your Istanbuls and so on. The alloy, the different, concoction of the metal is really, really what kind of makes that change feel really, really different.
Yeah.
I feel like a lot of the Zildjians that I play are actually quite bright without realizing. And like even just like hitting that 20-inch crash for the first time, I was like, wow, that is exactly, what I was kind of looking for, and the feel of them as well. And yeah, again, I could go on for ages, but it's been really, really good so far. I've only had sort of one long session with them. I keep listening to videos and clips and stuff that I took and the audio because they just sound so good. They record really nicely as well. I couldn't believe how well they recorded just on my little setup with this mic. They're just so clean, so crisp, but still got the sort of, dark sort of tones and so on. I was messaging Jonathan Case about it because he plays Peisty as well. And he was like, yeah, just because he does a lot of recording, they just come through the microphone so well. Like even the 17-inch hi-hats, I would say are clearer and crispier than my 16-inch special dry combination that I use. Yeah, which technically that shouldn't be the case because they're smaller and but the clarity on them is just incredible. So very, very happy with that. I didn't get anything else because that was enough. But yeah, super, super excited, super, super pleased with them. And yeah, just feels like the right place to be for me at the moment, which is exciting. So
nice.
No, it's great, mate. And I think just to like, it was quite funny because I get into the show, and because we didn't catch up before we're in there, I found you in there, didn't I, guys?
Yeah.
And I rang you when I got in on WhatsApp. I rang you, Harry, didn't I? Or did I ring?
Maybe.
Did it ring you? And I just said, "Oh, where are you?" And I'll come and find you.
Oh yeah.
And you were like, it was 9:30 on a Saturday morning. I'm at the Peisty booth.
Yeah.
Like,
that's right.
Right? Really? Yeah. I want to talk to you. I'm just waiting to put the prices on them.
Well, the story behind that, I should probably explain. The story behind that is obviously you turned me on to the fact that Rattle and Drum, your local shop, we're going to be stocking Peisty, Veta, Remo, and so on. And you sort of suggested, because I was saying, I want to get hold of someone who's, going to be stocking, because I don't want to kind of, get my hopes up, plan to go and get all these cymbals, and it turns out we're not carrying that line today or whatever. So had a great conversation with Kev on the phone, and he was like, it was weird. He was literally just sat at his desk, opened up the email, and was like, "Oh, I'm literally just looking at the stock list now." What do you want to know? So anyway, he basically said, "Yeah, we've got everything that you're after. Come down nice and early. We'll get it all sorted for you as long as you're happy. Get it sorted. If you come at 2, 3, 4, 5 o'clock on Saturday afternoon, I can't guarantee anything's going to be there, but just come in pretty much as soon as doors open, show your face, and we'll just get it all sorted for you." So, I don't want to make a habit of, going into the drum show and getting everything you want straight away. But in this sort of instance, I didn't want to, sort of take the mick of the guys, because they really, really helped out. And Dan from Korg as well, really, really helpful. Martin, the owner of Rattle and Drum, was amazing. Sam, who helped as well, like setting up the cymbals with me. Amazing service. The whole, everyone that was working on the booth, before we get into the show itself, everyone really put in the shift. And I think that's something that you can very easily overlook at the drum show, is just, the people that are there are people that work in the industry. They're either part of a store, or they're part of this and they're part of that. And, they go for a lot in those 48 hours. And they're always on hand, smiling face, ready to help you out with, the information you need. So,
I mean, I Yeah, to that point. Yeah, fair play, H. And well done on the cymbals, mate. They sound great. And well done for taking the
thank you,
mate, taking the jump. But I mean, when I spoke to Ben on the Evans Didario booth. I mean, we didn't have a 5-minute conversation. It was quite in depth, and he was like, we had a 20-minute, 25 minute conversation about everything. And then sure enough, Sunday he's still there. He's having one-to-one conversations, and I was walked past twice. He's still talking to the same people. And, you know that. I mean, they're there on the Thursday setting up or whatever, and they don't leave. They pack up
late Sunday night or whatever,
or maybe in the Monday morning. So for us, it's 2 days, but for them, it's like 4 days minimum.
Yeah. And we feel
all the build up,
and they're down there, like, you know, surrounded by drum noise, literally constantly for the entire duration of the show.
They can't go to the auditorium.
No, that's what I was going to say.
There's no escape.
As soon as the loud time came on, everyone was always like, right, I'm off, you know. Whereas them, you know, I think I remember seeing someone at some point just went like, like almost put their hood up, put their ears in, put their headphone, you know.
And you go into like patrol mode, you know, kind of like you have to do like your little like patrol around the snare drums and around the vintage kits, and just be like, this is not for smacking. I
think they need to put out a public service announcement of just, you know, you don't need to go and hit things hard.
No,
you know, it's not a competition, but that's next year's episode. We'll do that on the pre-up, you know. Do's and don'ts, you know.
Yeah.
But, the show. What did we make of the show this year, guys? Did we prefer it over last year? You know,
it felt much more like, I don't know, maybe it was just who was on, but it felt like there's so much to do this year. Like so much. I know there was last year, but it just felt like you can't see it all. You need a plan. No. You need to know what you're at least intending to do. To try and have any hope of getting around. Sure. You know, it's intense.
I don't think it's better or worse than the year before. I think the show, there was more to do. There was more stuff. I think my approach this year was far more strategic.
Yeah, I think we all kind of knew that we needed to do a bit of planning.
Actually, I mean, we'll probably post, but I think we got one photo, the three of us, didn't we? Together. But we didn't actually spend a lot of time together throughout the whole weekend. We bumped into each other in Mike's room for Yost, and we all sat at the back. There's about 8 of us all sat at the back with it together. Our little gang. Shout out to the gang.
Shout out to the gang.
2 minutes mention, but
you know who you are.
We're all kind of just trying to get with our plan to all the things that we wanted to see. So I think the printout went down well. That I brought for everyone.
Literally, as soon as we arrived, it's like, here's yours. And
here's your printout.
It's brilliant.
So a quick story about that, because I don't think you guys don't know this yet. So I was in the queue. Sure enough, I bumped into about 4 people in all of the 3 different queues that I knew, I bumped into what's his name? The guy. He was actually a tutor at the Odyssey camp last year. Chris Turner. Yeah. He was walking through the queues to get back in again. So I had a quick chat with him. Hello, mate. How are you? We talked about climbing, because we both climb as a hobby. So we were talking about that. And I'm just setting up the DWE kit. You know, I've got to go back to my room, and I've been here since 7:30. I've got to get back, get showered. I thought, fair play, go and get some breakfast. And so chatting. And there was a lady behind me with her son, and we're getting nearer and nearer the queue. And the lad was, I think, how old was the lad? He was 12, I think. And she said, "Excuse me." I said, "Yes." She said, Have you been here before? I was like, "Oh yeah. This is like my 3rd year here." And she's like, "I've just brought my son because he plays drums. I'm bringing him today. My dad's bringing him tomorrow. I don't really know. We've bought tickets, but I don't really know what it is."
Wow.
So I said,
okay. You're in for a surprise.
Right, yeah. Right. I said, if you listen to the last episode of our podcast...
Have we got earplugs?
Well, that's the first thing I said.
First thing,
have you got earplugs? And I says, "Hello, buddy, how are you?" And he's like, I says, "How long have you been playing drums?" And he said, "Really, this is like 9 years." I went, 9 years? I said, "How old are you now?" He's like, "I'm 12. She said he's been playing since he's 3. Right. And it's just done grade 5. I'm like, oh, okay. Right, fair enough. Have you been to here before? No. Yeah, I've not been here before. Right. She said, so what is it? I says, well, there's a really, really noisy room downstairs and then up the escalator here. So it's on 3 floors. She said, you're joking. How do I know where to go? I says, one moment. and
£5, please.
Yeah. So I finished talking. Says, well, yeah, on the website it will give you the times for all the mainstay. Do we need separate tickets for that? So I just basically gave her a quick overview of all the stuff's down there for sale, and you can look around all the shiny stuff. There's the education room upstairs. There's Drumeo upstairs. There's Mike Dolbear's room, which is the other side of the auditorium. Then you've got the mainstay artists. I then, funny enough, Neil was on my booth. So the guy who runs and owns the show, I chatted with him, got my wristband, talking to someone else out of the queue. I waited for that lady to come out of the queue. And I says, here you go. And I gave her one of my printouts.
Nice.
With
nice.
I said, this is what's going on in all of the main rooms. She went, oh, brilliant. Thanks very much. So I didn't see her again for the whole of the day. But yeah, look, that's the breakdown. She said, you really have to plan what you do. I said, oh, yeah, you've got to plan what you're doing. So
amazing. I didn't realise you did that. Really cool.
I got like 10 copies, you see. So I thought, well, I'd just give her a copy. And then, she's got an idea. And I don't think he knew the names of people. He didn't have anyone he wanted to go and see. So she was just like, cool.
I can't imagine what it's like
really cool.
walking into the drum show and just all you know is you love drums.
Yeah.
Well, imagine being the parent of someone who loves drums who doesn't even know about drums.
Yeah.
You're both clueless at that point. Really.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that. Like, just like choose a name, go see who that is, what they do, and then go down and just see every type of stick and snare and head and case and anything you can think of. It's there, you know.
So hopefully
that's
crazy. Was useful. So that was
very cool.
And then I rang you, and you were buying cymbals.
Yeah.
And then I bumped into you upstairs. And met Jai. And
Jai.
What we seen first?
All in Thomas Lang, weren't we?
Thomas Lang, I sort of snuck back into that myself. I'd spent quite a lot of time walking around by myself, just like little bits, kind of catching up with people and so on. I quite enjoyed it, like it was quite nice to sort of sometimes just go and like when who did we end up going to see that I didn't really enjoy and I walked out of? That sounds really bad, but who was it?
I think it was
Gabs.
Yeah.
I was also booking a holiday at the point and I had no signal, so it was terrible timing on my part. But I turned to AJ and I was just like, I'm not really enjoying this, and I also really need to go and sort this out, so I'm going to leave.
Yeah, fair.
And he was like, sounds, I'll be out in a minute. But it was not. It was nice to just go out and just and then I came into Thomas Lang and everyone was fixed on Thomas Lang and sat at the back by myself and had my banana and it can be quite intense sometimes, the drum show. It's a lot going on, and sometimes just taking a minute to catch a bit of fresh air, whatever, is massively underrated.
I always think that our little annual meal deal getaway is always really needed. Like on the Sunday or whenever we end up doing it, like it's always just like moment of peace, have a little kind of moment to process what you've been seeing. And I think it takes days to kind of really kind of understand and process everything that you've experienced over that. Like not only like being in the main stage and all the other rooms, but just like chatting to people and catching up and meeting new people. And
you could probably go into like one room or watch one person, and that would probably be enough for like the rest of the year in terms of like stuff to work on and inspiration, if you really wanted to just take everything in that they've said. But to get that like probably 10 times in one day and then get it all again the next day and have conversations with people that could spark other things, it is a lot.
I chatted to a lot more people this year, and I had a little bit strategically wanted to make sure I bumped into certain people and have conversations about certain stuff. But so it was nice to start the day with Thomas. I actually went first. I went into the British Drum Company room, bumped into a couple of people in there and looked at all the new finishes. I went back later in the day or the next morning and spoke to Fraz, who's the head of production in terms of spray finishes and does all the coats and all the lacquers. The colour that I really, really love, they did a show kit in it like a year ago, and they couldn't put it in production because they couldn't get it to be consistent. But he's nailed it now, and that's now an available finish. I'm like, this is the one I want. So I just got talking because they got new hardware coming out, and I was talking to the guy who's now come back to the company as like head of design, and it was just geeky stuff. I went to the chat. They did an interview with Charisse Osi from Simple Minds because she's a BDC endorser. So I went to the chat that it was Al Murray chatting to her on the Sunday. That was a nice thing, just to sit in a quiet room and listen to her backstory and everything.
Was that one of your highlights, would you say?
It was. It was not. It was a cramped, really small room. I think. It was. I think they probably. I don't know whether they should or could have sold tickets for that. Well, not sold, but just made me allocated tickets. Yeah. Because I don't know whether they knew it was going to get booked or not. People were turning up, but it was like too many people in there. Well, a couple of members of staff had to come out to let more public in. But that was a great chat. And what was nice is I didn't get a chance to have a photo with her, but I messaged her afterwards, say thanks for answering my question. And she messaged me back and said, no problem, Matt, if you ever want anything else, you know where I am. And so it was just more making connections for me, which was quite nice. I bumped into Samantha, I know she's down London Way. She does a lot of percussion and stuff, so we're going to catch up. I could quickly go my highlights. I think Jos Nickel was fantastic in the education room. Really dry sense of humour, funny, witty, just... As Mike Johnston said, and I'd agree, for me, he's like top 3 players doing it in terms of his application, his breakdown of stuff, the way he can play like that, but still is a good educator. He's really good, and he's just a monster player, and he makes it look so easy. I did a couple of the Evans education room stuff. One with Will Daly. So I'd booked in from the previous episode. I was booked in with Darby Todd. Darby Todd couldn't make it in the end. So
Will had to do a couple, didn't he?
Will did another one.
Did
and
second,
it happened. I wanted to bump into Will to say hi. Sorry, I missed your session this morning. He said, well, actually, I'm doing another one. I said, well, that's the one I'm booked on. So that was cool. And then I did the Dexter Hercules one on the Sunday, which was really good. It was nice to catch up with a couple of industry professionals and a couple of players that I knew. It was just the conversations were nice, really, for me this year. And then, I'm going to say it, but Eloy Casagrande. I don't know of the Slipknot. I'm not a Slipknot fan. I don't know their music. But, I sat there like...
It was something else, wasn't it?
It was outrageous.
It was a prop. I think I posted about it on the stories when I got back. It was, for me, it was almost not I got a little bit emotional about watching it. It was a real visceral. Yeah. Because what he played, but it's how he played it.
Yeah. You believe it.
And the performance in his playing. Was just like astonishing. But as Kyle said, it was like, well, I didn't have Eloy Casagrande doing jazz ride comping. In his solo. I'd never had that on my bingo card.
Didn't call that one.
No.
And he only played 2 Slipknot songs as well. Oh no, 3 I think. Yeah.
3.
Did he
3.
Did
he open with 1 and close with 2? Or
he did 2.
Because I don't know the catalogue. I couldn't have told you what was not.
No, he did a lot of his own stuff in the middle, which was really cool. Which was where you saw like this comping. Whatever. Very, very cool.
I think it was Heretic Anthem, Liberate, and People Equal Shit. I think were the 3.
Right.
Yeah.
Off the top of my head.
Yeah. And I think as well, it was also compounded by the fact he was closing the show. Yeah. And everyone was just like, I
have to see this man.
I was like desperate to see this guy, but also so tired and brain fried and on the edge of being very drummed out, and then he comes on and you're like, whoa, and
let's go again, 2 more days.
It was something else.
And I've never seen, so for people who know the AAC, so you got that top escalator and there's those sofas around the escalator at the top of the landing.
People queuing out the door.
I was
mad.
I was sat on those sofas and the queue came past me, past the escalators, and I'm like, well, I hope we get in. But
It was a packed. That's probably the fullest I've ever seen that auditorium. Like,
and that auditorium is never full. Yeah, like, for anyone really.
But I could still walk in and pretty much sit. I found you guys and sat.
And
it wasn't like standing room only, squeezing at the back. No. We've got good seats in the middle.
Yeah.
So I mean, I don't want to wax lyrical about quite a lot of stuff already, but that was it all for me really. It was just it was all good. I didn't feel too precious. We caught up with everyone. We all said hello.
Yeah,
but it all felt like that was good to bump into each. We had the traditional Wagamamas
classic
on the Saturday night.
Yeah,
I had the same thing again. The same thing I had last year. But no, it was really good. What about you guys? Highlights for you? If I've not already, I think I've discussed everything anyway.
You can probably say the same, Jay, with Mark and Juliana. Apart from Eloy and so on. Mark was that was Saturday afternoon.
Yeah,
I think, wasn't it? It's like 2 or something like that. It was just incredible. Like at first it was, you probably all agree, it was a little bit like,
what's going on?
More of a performance art.
Yeah, well, it was a little bit like, I'm not really buying into this. It was a bit like tippy tappy. You played so much without playing anything. That sort of drumming, if you know what I mean. Where you kind of sat there going, I could probably do that. I think most people could probably, a couple of doubles on the toms, all that sort of stuff. And then, obviously he just then starts to, you lean into your seat a little bit more. He starts to blow you away, and then that's when the show really kicked off, where, he played a bit of keyboard and he had these background sounds that he was sort of soloing over and played his other kit on the side, and this wonderful piece of music that he played at the end sort of had this big crescendo, and it was really, really like quite moving. Like you were saying about Eli, Matt, it was I was straight away, I was like, what is that keyboard sound? What is this piece? Like, what is this song? I need this, I
got a photo with us. I bumped into him in the
I was jealous of that. I saw him. I didn't get a photo with anyone apart from us.
I didn't either.
Yeah,
terrible doing that.
I think there was loads of good. I think this year I saw the most amount of people. Out of all the years I've seen. Like, again, just comes back to our first point there was so much on. Whether that's just because there was so much on with people that I would like to see more than other years. I feel like there was always a lot of stuff on, but it just felt like there was a lot of stuff on in various different rooms. There was even people, like I wanted to see James Compton, who plays for Catfish and the Bottommen, but just sort of timing didn't work out. I'd quite like to see Brandon from Drumeo. Timing didn't really work out. I mean, again, like I think he deserves a special shout out. He constantly, for anyone that wasn't there, constantly had queues of people around him. Was always shaking hands and smiling and taking photos, and
he put a shift in, didn't
he? He really put in the shift in, because he could have been very much not on the show floor, tucked away, chatting with the industry people, behind closed doors sort of thing. But it wasn't. He was on. He was with the rest of the Drumeo team on the show floor, shaking hands, smiling, and I mean, fair play to him.
Great.
But loads of great stuff. Too much to mention. I don't know about you, Jay, but loads of great stuff.
Go on, Jay.
Yeah. No, I mean, I agree with you guys. I think those two performances were particular highlights. Eloy and Mark, I think they were so they were really unexpected, and I think I quite liked that. Like both of them, I wasn't expecting at all, and they all had. I think I loved everyone else, but it was. It's not a bad thing, but it could kind of turn into like there's a guy on main stage surrounded by drums, absolutely ripping it, and there was a lot of that for the whole weekend.
It was,
and I think it was kind of as much I think Thomas Lang just opening that completely blew my mind, and it almost like just got me into that like drum show mode, and just was like, oh, okay, yeah, right, we're in it, and he's just kicked it off, and like it's just gonna be a weekend of me staring at drummers that are just incredible, and I think there was a lot of drummers that were similar, I guess, to that, where they're up just ripping it and being incredible, super inspiring. But then I think with Mark, it was like he had like 2 toms and 2 rides, and then he had like a little side kit, and they had a keyboard, and then he had like all this percussion on stage, and he was giving it bells, giving it out to the audience. And I spent the first maybe 10 minutes, he was just on the toms and these two beautiful ride cymbals, and I was like, please hit one,
hit it,
please hit it. I just want to see how it, like, hear how it sounds. I just want to see it move. Like I was just like just waiting for him, and he just kept going back to this little like tom motif. I was like, it's so annoying. So yeah, it was, but that kind of, I guess, like added to it, like to the whole experience of it. And then obviously with Eli just like absolutely like melting at everyone's face at the end was very unexpected but amazing. Like enjoyed that. But I felt like on a personal level, I really loved Joost in the education room. Literally, it was only like 40 minutes, but it was. Yeah, I loved that. Just seeing him teach and play, just all the things you were saying, Matt. I think that was the one that I think I really could take something from. Maybe it's because in the education room as well, there was kind of a bit more sort of back and forth, and there was a bit more Q&A type interaction. And I found that I could kind of take a little bit from it and be like, oh, I'm going to try that in my own playing. Whereas when it's just like Gavin Harrison playing like 6 crazy songs, like you just admire it, but then that's kind of it.
Kind of washes over you a bit after a while, doesn't it?
Yeah,
really? Yeah. So, I agree with that.
So that's why I think Joost was probably my favorite from that point of view. But also I think that in comparison to last year, I felt like this year was, I don't know if I want to call it a successful drum show, but I just feel like I did the drum show better. Kind of I understood what was involved. Going up the night before was such a great shout. So I mean, we did start far too late, but it just being up there ready on the Saturday morning,
huge difference.
A big, everyone had planned a meal on the Saturday night, and everyone kind of, and I knew exactly who I wanted to go to and when, and had like a plan. And I think last year I just felt like I was, being pulled around by everything.
Yeah.
And I couldn't make a decision. I couldn't land it. I was like, I want to buy this, but I want to like talk to this person. And then I want to check that out because I'm like researching it at the moment, but I'm not really sure. And then this guy's playing, but he's clashing with this other guy. And I just hadn't really thought about it. And I just kind of came home like, oh, I enjoyed that, but I felt like I could have got a bit more out of it. And this year I just kind of felt like there were still things I wished I could have done, but like I just feel like the whole thing flowed a lot better, and I knew what I was getting into from the start. So.
There was loads of stuff. I've seen people post stuff or companies post stuff from the show, and I'm like, I don't remember seeing that. Like, where was the Vic First stand? There was people with Vic First. I'm like, but maybe I didn't get involved because it was near the Zildjian stand, and I thought, I'm not going anywhere near that. So
2 for 1 on K Light rides, I heard.
Now, apparently the market's about to be flooded, the second-hand market. So but I should
not for sale. I should just say not for sale.
Quick shout out though, I did actually probably best human being there was Todd Zuckerman. He played like fantastic. He played that new range of Sona drums. I think I don't know, I'm not going to put words in your mouth, guys, but I think our gang said, I think all the Sona players, the guys that played Sona, they were the best sounding kits in that auditorium
100%
all weekend.
I only saw Gavin, I think, that played Sona, and I never had seen him really play or taken much interest in, to be honest. But I thought he had. I don't think anyone had a better snare drum sound than Eloy. I think most of the snare drums, I'm going to go on record and say, were pretty not very good. That I heard, they just sounded a bit like, I don't know, like rum, not kind of that well tuned, like not even coming through the mic. But Gavin's kick drums were unbelievable. I can't remember, was I sat next to you, Joe? I can't remember. Yeah, but whoever I was sat next to, I was just like, those kick drums are outrageous, and his toms as well.
The perfect sound, and like he would go around the toms, and you're like, they're just exactly where they need to be.
Yoast's kit as well was incredible, obviously. Amazing.
But Todd's kit, the way he played, and I like the way he sits side on, so people can see what he's doing.
See a bit more,
and it was demoing his new cymbals and stuff as well. Which,
but like he's talked about, I've got 90 seconds left because I set a stopwatch. I'm never going to overrun because it's happened to me before, and I'm never going to do that to another human being. When it got done to him and he had to lose 20 minutes, I thought, and he does talk about everyone went out their way to go to a drum show, and that should never be overlooked. And he's really passionate about, you should go and see a show, go and support a drummer, go and watch a band, go to the theatre, go to whatever, support the arts. You need to get out and do it. Don't wait until it's on your doorstep, because it'll never happen. And he really speaks from a point of view of passion about, getting out and experiencing it. I thought his playing's like just really good, really
level.
Good. Yeah, he is fantastic. Yeah.
I think also as well, like the hang, the hang. Hang's always good, but I think year after year it gets even more fun, because I think
the group grows as well.
The group grows, like the connections get stronger. Because generally speaking, we all message and DM and connect on Instagram throughout the year, and that makes sort of everyone feel closer and stuff. But in terms of like being in a room together, it only happens really once a year. At the drum show. So it's just nicer year after year where you kind of checking, oh yeah, how's that? You mentioned this last year, like how's that going on? And you actually get to have spend a bit of time, whether it is going to get a meal deal,
well,
exactly.
We've been like, look, let's all go and get waggers and
and have a proper catch up.
Yeah, or let's share a Airbnb or whatever. Be a bit more.
That's so good.
I had a guy come up to me called Art Marshall, and we played a gig on the same bill. Midway through the year, Montgomery Slacks, we were headlining.
Cool.
He was support, his band was support, and he says, "Hello, mate." He had his hair cut, and I went, "Hello, mate, how are you?" And it's great to see you. And it was like, I didn't know he was going to be there. He didn't know I was going to be there, but we bumped into each other on the escalator and just caught up for 10 minutes after we met each other once at a gig. And he kit shared my kit, and it's just those little conversations that you get into, and and I was racking my brain like, I know what their Instagram handle is, but what's their actual name?
There's a lot of that.
But no, it was all good, and I did feel like, just to echo what you said, Jay, I felt like I took on the show this year and won. Rather than being battered into submission by 12 o'clock.
You can feel a little bit overwhelming. And
I didn't make the best food choices. I didn't make the best choices of food because I was on a tight timetable.
Should have done the meal deal thing.
Well, I had to be somewhere and do
Works
a thing.
Every time.
Do another thing. And
got to plan it in.
A banana and a Yorkie in the back pocket and a Lucozade is just...
Yeah, the Lucozade
it's like a first aid kit, that is. Midway through, someone blasting your head off.
So next year you can sell the timetables, and then Harry can sell the
little
first aid kit for
emergency
drummers,
emergency rations.
Yeah, podcast merch. That's what it'll be. Drum show supplies.
Yeah, podcast merch.
Well,
we didn't have any merch there, did we? But it was really good. Cool, guys. Well, it was a great show.
See you next year.
Can recommend.
Yeah.
Dates have come out for next year already, haven't they?
They have.
20 something of October, that first weekend in the 20s.
23, 22, 23,
20, 22, 23 to 24, 25. Oh, no, something like that. That weekend.
It doesn't matter. I'm going.
We'll be there, Not a problem.
So we should wrap up, guys. But it's...
We've got cymbals to go play. Gear to use.
I've got heads to put on drums and sticks to practice with. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Thank you.
This was a big recap. As you can tell, it was. We all spent a little bit of money.
A couple of pennies.
Harry bumped the average up between the three of us. But we did have a fantastic show. We did bump into a few people and said hi. I actually bumped into George from Drum and Drummer podcast and got a photo with him, and we shared a couple of should we say insider insights into the world of putting on a podcast. Podcasting. But thanks so much for listening, everyone. If you want to support the podcast, we'd love you to do so. 2 ways you can do that. You could give us a 5-star rating. If you could do that, it'd be really great, because it puts it on the map for other people to listen to us. Or you could just share this with someone else you know. Share it from wherever you're listening to it with another drummer or musician or someone you thought might enjoy it or was at the show and want to kind of listen to our perspective on it. That'd be great. Or you could buy us a coffee at buymeacoffee.com/countersin podcast. This episode will be coming out this Friday, which will be the 31st of October. And
Happy Halloween.
Happy Halloween. And it'll be out the following week on that Friday, first Friday in November, the 7th. Oh, for YouTube. Yeah, thanks,
on the YouTube.
On the YouTube. So make sure you head over there and like and subscribe on there, and you'll see all the stuff we put out on there as well. Especially this week when we've got loads of things we've been showing to camera.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You'll want to see
all the visual listeners.
Listeners.
Yeah.
This one
So it's got to be a T-shirt, that, hasn't it?
It has,
the visual listeners.
Merch for the drum show next year, I think.
Yeah, definitely. Thanks, guys. I'm all excited for next year already.
Yeah, all good.
Only,
till the next one.
51 short weeks to wait.
Better start staving.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thanks, everyone. See you again soon.
Yeah, nice one.
See ya.
Soon.